Hello friend, welcome back. In a previous video, I already discussed about that things with you. Here I migrate one of the table and then I created one of the routes. So for this one, that means the post. Okay. And also I created one of the controller as a post controller. And into this position, there is the index method. So right now I want to load our list page in our index method. I want to do that work. So if you go to the post controller and here there is a post controller, there is the index method. So now in our index method, I want to do one work. Like first of all, here I just define the page name. Okay, like I just define the page underscore name. And then here I just define the page name will be as a post. Okay, I just define the post. And here I want to do one thing, like only that admin user can actually access this list page and the editor can only see his own post. Okay, so this type of one of the function I just want to define on particular that area. So I just define that condition as the if condition. Okay, and into the if condition here I want to do, like first of all here I just define the auth. Okay, auth, and then I just define that user. So here I only permitted user for all for the admin. So here I just defining it as a type. So when this user type will be equal 1, okay, then he will be actually able to access. And also, and I just defined for the author. So I just define the auth. Okay, auth again that user. And for the auth user, I just defining it. So here I have to defining it with the hash role. Okay, I just defining it with the hash role, and here I just defining our editor. Okay, so that means the editor one of the user. Okay, so only that editor can access their own post. So that's the things I want to do. For the reasons I just defining it, and then I just defining on particular that position. I just defining it that he will be display that post by some of the order. Okay, I just defining on particular that position as I just take one of the variable as a data, and into the data here I just define our post. That means our post model. Okay, and now I want to get all the data from our database, and here I want to define one of the order. So order by, so it will be get the data from our database and display as a order by. I just defining on particular that position with the ID, and I just defining as a descending order. Okay, so here I just defining as a descending order, and he will get all data. For the reasons I just define that get. So here I just define that get. I hope you can well understand about it. And then for the rest of this, I just define another else on here. Okay, I just define another else. Else he will be display, like I just take another variable as a data, and here I define the post, and then this post I just define the where condition. Okay, go into this where, and here I just define our field. Like if you go to the database, here one of the field as a created by. Okay, so here I just define that with this one. So here I just define that table as a created by, and then I just defining it as auth. Okay, auth, and then I just defining the authentication user, and for the user I just defining that to the ID. So here I just defining as an ID, and then I just want to get all the data. So with the order by. For the rest, it will be display as an order by, and here I just defining with two. First of all, there is an ID, and then I just defining the descending. Okay, so here I just defining the descending order, and I also want to get all the data. So here I just defining as a get. Okay, get all the data, and after that I have to return it. So before return it, I have to also use all the things, like here I have to use the auth. So here I define that auth. Okay, and also I just define that use db, and also I have to use our model, that means the post model. Okay, I just define that our post model on here. So this post model will be actually after that app. So here I just define the app and then our post. So I think it should be very much clear to you what exactly the things, because here I define that author. So for the reasons I just define that auth, and I also define the DB. So and also our post model. So that is our post model. So after that I want to return that page. So here after that I just define that return. Okay, return, and then I just define the view, one of the view page. So that's the page I have to create in our admin. Like if you go to that position, so that is our admin, and here I have to actually create one of the folder. Like here I just create one of the folder as a post. Okay, and into the post here I want to create one of the file as a list. So for now I just define that URL first, like as a admin, and then the post, then the list. I just define that list, and after that I just want to compact, and into the compact I want to transfer our data. So here I just define the data, and also I want to add our page name. So here I just simply add the page name. I hope you can well understand about it, because we did this type of work a lot of the time. So now we have to create this page, that means this list page in our post folder. So here I just open it, and now I just click on the save as, and I just name it as a list.blade.php. Okay, and for now education purpose I'm just copy all things from our permission list. So in our permission list, so I just copy all things from here, and in our list blade I just paste on particular that position. So for now here I want to customize that page. Okay, like there is actually I just define the page name. So here I already passed the page name as a post, so it will be visible on here. Then our field, okay, like here in our database there have some of the fields, so we have to add that field on particular that position. So into this area I actually don't want to display all that fields, so which field is needed I just only want to display that things on here. Like first of all, that is our all that create page, that is the create button, and here it should be the post. Okay, and post, and then the create. So I just defining it on here, I just define as a post. Okay, I just defining the post and the create, and here also defining all, and also there is another permission. You can add the another permission if you go to that area, like as a post add. Okay, so for now here I already defining as a post add and the all. So that's all the permission I just defining it on here. Then all that our fields. So for now I just define first of all there is a image. Okay, I just define that image, and then I also want to display the title. I just define the title, and also I define that author. Okay, author, and also if you go to that position, I also want to display the total view. Okay, total count of view I also want to define, and also I just define that status. So better I just define as a total view, and also I take the two, like one is for the, I just define as a status. Okay, I just define as a status, and another is for the options, like for the edit or delete, this type of things. I just define that options. Okay, so I hope you can well understand about it. And here first of all I just want to display that all that field. So here first of all that hash, so here that is will be just showing the number, and after that images. So for the images, first of all I just want to find out that image file is already exist or not. Okay, for the reasons I have to define some of the if condition. So I have to work on particular that td. So right now I remove it, and in particular that position here I just define one of the if condition, like as the if. So first of all I just, as I told you, I just want to define that images exist or not. So here there is command as a file underscore exist. Okay, so here I just define that exist, and then I just define that file path. So here I just define as a public underscore path. Okay, I just define that path, and in our public folder I want to actually create one of the folder as a post. Then it will be very much clear to you. Like right now I just define that link first. Okay, as a post. So one of the folder, it should be save all the data, and here I just defining with this as a row. Okay, with this row I just defining that images. So here I just defining, after that here in particular that position I just define that at this row, and here I want to first of all define our thumbnail image. Okay, like that is actually thumbnail image. So thumbnail image will be saved on here. So here I just defining it. So here I just defining the thumbnail images, and then I just define that image. Like here I just define image, and image src will be like here I just define first of all the assets. Okay, asset, and with the asset I just define particular that position, like in our public, I just define that public, and after the public, as I told you, I will create one of the folder as a post. So where I just create it, if you go to that public, and here I want to create one of the folder. So here I just define one of the folder as a post. Okay, so all the thumbnail image will be saved on particular that position, that is a post. I just define one of the folder name. So after that public, I just define the post folder, and then here I just define the slash, and again I just define two of these. Okay, so on particular that position I just define this one. So here I just define that our row and the thumbnail image. So now I think it's very much clear to you what exactly the things I want to do. Okay, so that's our the images, and after that I also want to define one of the class. Like here I just define as a one of the bootstrap class as the image, and I just define that responsive. Okay, I just define that responsive on particular that position. And also we have to and that if. So here I just defining as a and if, and then I have to display our title. So that is our td, so there is an td. So now that is our title. So here our database field names, database field name is the title. So here I just defining the title on particular that position, and after the title there is an author. So for that author I just take another one. So here I just defining it. So for the author I will do that things later. Right now I just make that things as a blank, and after that I also there is a total view. So if you go to that position, so that is actually the total count. So for now I just copy it, and here after that, so this position I just define the total count. And then they have also another field as a status. So this status field will be like I just want to do one kinds of work. Like if you go to the category, and in our category here you can see I just define one of the status as a published or the unpublished. So for now I just want to do the same thing. So that is in our category list page. So if you go to that category, so that is our category list, and here I defining one of the conditions, like there is one of the forms. So for now I just copy that td. Okay, I just want to do the same things in our list page. So for that, so after that status, so there is a total view, so there is a total count. Okay, after that td, so after that td here I just paste on particular that position. Okay, I just defining it on here. So it should be actually a back, and then I just define the post. Okay, it should be related to the post and the status. So I have to create that method later. So that is status 1, and then it's actually unpublished and the published. So it's perfect. So it's also that method will be the put method, and also here I have to define that things with the id. Then our permission for the our row. Okay, like here for that reason, so here I just defining for the edit button. So here I just define as a back and that post edit, and then I also have to delete it. So that is defining as a back and the post and the delete. So I think it should be very much clear to you, because I did a lot of the time with the same things. Also here is defining all the permission for the post add and the all and post update. So whatever the permission you want to add, you can actually assign that things on particular that area. So for now, let's check this out. This page is loaded perfectly or not, because in our controller here I already defined that page as an admin post list page. Okay, that means our index method. So here I is defining that method in our post. So after that post, okay, so for now I just refresh it, and in our post here I defining already that URL. So now click on here. Yes, you can see now our post list is now loaded on particular that position, and here all that our field, there is the images, the title, author, the total view, the status, and the options. So here I define all that field, and also there is a data table is loaded on particular that position, and here also one of the button as a create, and into this button I already define as a post and create. And if you go to that list page, okay, like here if you go to that list page, here I define that create. like that is actually our create button, and here I just define that back, post, and create. So we have to actually create that one. So I will do that things later. Right now I loaded our that page, and also I defining that as a post name. If you go to the index method here, I just defining the page name as a post. For the reasons is now visible on here. So we successfully load our list page, and in our next video I will show you about that create page. Like if you click on the creates, and from the create you inserted all the data in our database table, that means this table. So how can do that work? In our next video I will show you that things with a live example. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.